Well, Angry Kid is, in fact, this guy who sits underneath a mask for 4 to 5 hours a day while we animate around him. Little Sister and Specky and the dog also are puppets, but they're life-size puppets, which means they're a bastard to animate.
We leave that to Mike then.
We leave that to Mike, wrestling with these great big puppets that fall apart a lot and held together with sellotape and pins. Like if you see all the live action stuff, like when he's out on the street on his bike, we've got one sort of road safety, public information film spoof. And the only way we could really make it look like a proper public information film was to shoot it on location, so we shoot it live action at half speed. So when you speed it back up again, it looks a little bit more pixelated and cartoony. And then we bring that footage into the studio, and an animator will have a small Angry Kid's head on the end of an armature and match that frame by frame. So it's quite a good way of farming the work to other animators without completely running clay into the ground.
It's all evil techniques that are going to make me redundant.
Are you out of your tiny little mind, man? You are huge hunks of metal. You could have been mashed to a pulp, you little fool.
We're always making new ones as all the episodes are written. I mean, they're not expensive things to knock out. They're plastic masks, which are vacuum formed from one clay mould. We sort of use the same clay mould for the whole lot, and it's just each time you make a new one, you re-sculpt the face. And if you look, their forehead, eyes and nose never change. We've got about 400 masks, but out of those 400, we've got about 30 key masks, which we're always using for vowels and consonants and sniffs and blinks and smirks and what have you. KY, sexual lubricant, also a very good mock saliva. I'm mixing Play-Doh and KY jelly together with beans to make baked bean and toast mush, which he's squidging between his teeth on all the separate ones. This is the one that he's going to choke on. The last straw.
Nice bit of KY on there. Juice it all up a bit. Nom nom.
Yes.
Cheers, bye.
No idea who that was. Let's do some animation. Where's my hair? Darren and I speak often of the very strange sort of relationship that we have in the studio, which is just sort of born of, I don't know, some kind of odd telepathy, I think, really, because... Flipping out.
It's really stinky.
You all right?
Sorry.
We very, very loosely discuss the shot before we start, and well, more often than not, it's done as we're going. Darren will sort of explain to me the movement that I'm going to be undertaking, and from that I can, because we've done so many of the episodes, I can kind of gauge exactly what position that I'm going to move into.
You need someone who understands animation, basically. We've tried life models. We got through 5 or 6.
Before you settled on the master.
A couple of them just passed out after the first 5 minutes. One of them actually threw up under the mask, but I'm not telling you which one.
I do all of those things, but Darren doesn't do it.
So they just didn't last. They couldn't. The ultimate thing is you need an understanding of animation, because once you've started the shot, if that person underneath the mask doesn't sort of know where he's going, then you're screwed.
I sometimes do experience impromptu boners on set.
What do you call that?
Studio rod,
You
really.
get a studio rod. It's like light stand. The really striking thing about Mark is how much he sweats.
And he's got a rather disgusting habit of just wiping his sweat off on those green paper towels and just leaving them or throwing them at you. Or he's just an animal.
He's our core inspiration. The minute we go into the studio, he is our core inspiration, and if Angry Kid's based on anyone, it's Mark. If you put the wig on Mark, there is no difference.
Oh. I got more.
At this point it'll fade down to black, and then when it fades back up there'll be loads more bottles on the back shelf full of piss.
Oh, it's no good, you're just gonna have to stop. We're on the last bottle, please, Dad. Dad! All right, I'm stopping. No, don't!
And what we're going to do is, when he says no, don't, we'll probably freeze it. It'll be like the end of a Sergio Leone movie, it'll freeze about there. Now I've done a second pass into black where all this piss comes out of this bottle towards camera. And then we did a background plate. All the back shelf bottles come out as well, so we'll freeze frame those about there. So that when you put the whole lot together, including the live action background plate, which will go where the blue screen is now, and the bottles flying onto the back shelf, plus the piss coming out the one in front, it should have the desired sick effect that we like so much on Angry Kid.
Dad, it's no good, you're just gonna have to stop. We're on the last bottle, please, Dad. Dad!
All right, I'm stopping.
And the day would usually start with, say, Clay and Mark having a big fight. And neither of them are very hard. And then they'd sort of just have a cup of coffee, mess around for a little bit, start shooting about maybe 5 to 1. And then we'd break for lunch, which was followed by another fight. Yeah, it takes a week to shoot 2 episodes. Most of that was fighting, drinking coffee and smoking fags.
Is it quite a nerdy kind of?
No, it's not.
It's definitely not. It's completely unnerdy.
It's not nerdy at all.